defendant's first appearance before a state court judge. So we are going to address several matters if we can today, including bond, possible arraignment, or consideration of a possible plea offer, if one is made by the state at this juncture. So I'm going to begin and advise everyone that this whole entire proceeding is being recorded and live streamed on YouTube. So govern yourselves accordingly. I want to also remind the defendants on this calendar that you do have the right to remain silent, that anything that you say about the facts or occurrences and circumstances of your case can and will be used against you. The state is here, they're listening as well. So you need to govern yourselves accordingly and listen to your attorneys before you make any statements that could be against your interest and may hurt your case. All right, where are we starting?
Good afternoon, Judge. We're going to be starting in courtroom 2 with position 4, Ms. Escobar.
Okay.
After that, Your Honor, we'll come to South Annex.
Okay, thank you.
That'll be my case, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right, this is case number 22 CR 001577E. Sophia Escobar, you're charged with 1 count of willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. You're charged with a 2nd count of no insurance and a 3rd count of suspended registration, all with the offense date of March 18, 2022. Pre-trial, do you have anything?
First, SOB jail is a recommendation.
Okay.
Hi, Your Honor, this is my case. I'm sorry, I was having some connectivity issues. Is this position 4?
Yes.
Okay, yes, the state is recommending a $1,500 signature bond on each count with no driving without a valid license as a condition of said bond. And that's fine if it's SOB.
Okay. All right. And
Not much to add, Your Honor. The SOB is fine with us. We'd love it to be a smaller amount, but it doesn't matter. She's going to show up.
Okay. I was going to say, you don't have much to say to that. I got it.
Nope.
I understand, Mr. McLean. All right. I will go ahead and order a signature bond through the jail. And I will do $1,000 on each charge, which will be a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. So $1,000 for each count. I'm going to order that there be no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, Ms. Escobar, unless they're prescription drugs that were administered by a physician. And of course, no driving, obviously, unless you have the proper registrations and insurance information through DDS. But if you don't have those things, then you need not be driving, because you'll just be picked up again. All right. So I think that should conclude this matter unless there's anything else that the attorneys want to address.
No, thank you.
Okay. All right. That will conclude this matter. And who do we have next?
Ms. Lawson here in South Annex.
Okay. That is position number 8, Lawson.
I believe her family may be on Zoom with us.
Okay. I just see someone for Escobar as well. Is there a relative of Miss Escobar on here?
That's her mom.
Melina Escobar. I did not see that before I gave my ruling. Miss Escobar, you are free to go. Your daughter has a $3,000 signature bond through the jail.
Okay.
Okay, so you are free to go.
Okay, so I have to go just over there and pay that, and she's gonna be okay to come with me?
I've got her number, Your Honor, and I can, as soon as court's over with, I'll be glad to call her.
Okay, her attorney will give you a call and explain that process to you.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Ray.
All right, and who else do we have? This case is 22 CR 001582C, Melanie Martin Lawson. You're charged in one count of theft by taking. The offense date is November the 11th, 2021. And I understand I have family or someone on the call regarding Ms. Lawson.
Her husband, I believe, Vint,
Okay.
if he's on.
Okay, husband in the purple shirt that says iPhone.
I guess, I think so, because he's a passenger. I spoke to him about, who's going to be driving the car. It won't be him.
I'm sitting in a parking lot.
Okay, and tell
All
me
right.
your name, sir.
It's a VINT Lawson, LAWSON.
Okay, Vince Lawson. Okay, I'll get to you in just a second. Mute yourself, and then once we hear the case presented, then I'll come back to you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Pretrial. Do you have anything?
Fourth arrest. She was arrested on the 15th of this month for simple battery, Cobb County, 2019 probation violation. And 2016, 4 counts of simple assault. She got first offender for those. If it's signature bond, it's through the jail. That's the recommendation.
Okay. All right. Ms. Duncan.
Yes, Your Honor. As you know, this incident occurred on November 15th, where the defendant in this case was privately employed as an in-home daycare nanny for the victim in this case, Andrea Weinthler, my apologies, that's Andrea Andrea, last name spelled Weinthaler. The incident took place at 12875 Etris Walk in Roswell, Georgia 30075. Etris is spelled ETRIS. She was privately employed as a nanny on that date, and the victim called her home at the time to check on her children who were in the care of the defendant, and her words were slurring. So the victim decided to check her in-home Ring camera, and she saw that the defendant was stealing her liquor bottles out of her home. The warrant indicated that the defendant stole a bottle of Basil Hayden whiskey and Johnny Walker Black. Our victim advocate did get a chance to speak with the victim in this case. Nobody was hurt in this incident, and there was no property damage. However, the incident was concerning for the victim due to the fact that her children were in the care of the defendant, and they were traumatized. The state is recommending a $2,000 signature bond, no further contact with the victims in this case, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and the state believes also that this case may be a good candidate for diversion. However, we are just filling out the application and sending it to the defense. We are not making any declaration that she will be accepted. And if this is amenable to the defense, could you all please let me know who to send that application to?
You go ahead and send it to me, and much appreciated. She is, a bed is waiting on her at Twin Lakes to deal with any alcohol problem. Her husband, Mr. Lawson, on the Zoom with us, has the information about exactly the procedure, and she's already been accepted. And so a signature bond would help her get there quicker, but perhaps wouldn't have to go through a bonding company. Mr. Lawson, can you unmute?
We're requesting a signature, yeah. Mr. McClain.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry, you're correct. So Mr. Lawson, is that tomorrow morning or tonight that the earliest she could go into that Twin Lakes rehab?
I've talked to them today. It's she can go in as soon as possible, whenever she gets released, and she needs to go home, get her things. Tomorrow morning would be more advantageous, but if it needs to be today to obtain the signature bond, we could do it today.
So, Your Honor, either directly from the jail, she could be driven to the rehab, or she could spend the night at home getting her things.
Okay. All right, I will agree to the $2,000 signature bond, and that'll be a signature bond through the jail. And there's to be no further contact with the victim, in this case, Andrea Whitelander, I believe. And I won't necessarily say nor the children, because obviously they're minors and she wouldn't be able to see them without going through the parent. And I want you also, Ms. Lawson, to stay away from the incident location. And that was, what is it, 12875 Etris Walk?
Yes.
Do not go back to the residence or that location at all, or else you will be immediately arrested. I'm going to also put into the order to continue with your rehab and make sure that you complete that and participate in it. It does not necessarily matter to me if you go tonight or in the morning, but as long as, say, tomorrow by noon you're there. I understand you may need to go home and pack some items and things of that nature, but I do want to caution you that you will be on bond, so be careful and follow and complete your bond conditions. Is there anything else that I need to take up, attorneys?
Nothing further. from
Nothing,
the
Your
state.
Honor.
All right.
Nothing at all. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Next, we have position 2, Mr. Cosby.
This is case number 22 CR 001576F. Michael Cosby, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and a 2nd count of public drunkenness or drunk. The offense date is 3/17/2022. Pre-trial,
You got 80 total.
you said 80?
Correct.
Okay.
He's on probation for obstruction, felony obstruction. He went to felony first appearance earlier, got a $4,000 good bond. It was either that or a bench warrant, one of them.
I think I have an explanation to that, and we don't have to go through the whole history because.
Oh, well, I wasn't about to. This is too much. Too much.
We had a long day yesterday.
Oh, we did,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
So I think he probably went to the felony first appearance this morning. I did see that he had an FTA on 19 SC 167327. I don't have the exact detail to the Superior Court case, but there is some
Okay.
concern as that originated out of MARTA PD as well. This is another incident at MARTA where MARTA PD once again was flagged down by patrons. It was made known to the officer that the defendant was there causing a ruckus or causing a disturbance. He appeared to be drunk. He was cussing out other patrons. The officer did run the defendant's background and came back with an active MARTA suspension through April 16th of 2022, possibly from that other MARTA case that I mentioned earlier. At that time, he was taken into custody. And here we are at his first appearance. The state is requesting a $2,000 good bond on the criminal trespass and a $1,000 good bond on the public drunk. I feel like that's a more than reasonable bond based upon that he already has an open felony case originating out of MARTA that he FTA'd on, and he was just picked up on that when he was picked up on this incident.
Mhm. All right, Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, despite the large number of prior arrests,
I'm sorry, did the defendant walk away?
Your Honor, you
Yeah,
got something to say? Come on, Bobby, tell me
He
something.
has to come to the table.
He doesn't want to come, and I can't force him to come.
I understand.
Did you want to set the bond?
I'm not sure what to add, Your Honor, at this moment, but despite the large number of arrests, we did have a heart-to-heart about the problem. And there's a good, one way of getting into this problem sometimes is to get out of town and get away from the big city and just be in the woods. There's a place called Victory Home. It's either in Rabun County or Habersham County. And I think that'd be a good place to go.
Okay. I would say we would do a waiver, but I think it's good enough. He started and just didn't want to finish.
Sure.
So I think
No, I think that's just further indicative that he's not going to be complying with the court's orders. I'll leave that at that. I'm sorry, Deputy. What are you trying to communicate?
Can we just get his-
Before he's sick.
Can we just get his appearance waived?
Yes.
Medical. He's not feeling well.
Oh, he's
Have a
not
medical
feeling
waiver
well.
today. Put him, will he be on another day? I'll tell the next.
No.
No, we just want to
No,
waive
he's
his
on a-
appearance.
He's on the medical floor, McLean. He's not feeling, he's very ill. He does not feel well right now.
We just want to
Yeah,
waive it.
I'll need to talk to him about whether he wants to come back on another day to court or whether he wants to waive.
He
I
just
can
wants
go
to
to-
waive his appearance, Judge.
Right, I can talk to him as his lawyer and ask him at the
Okay.
jail. I'll be there. I'll be there right after court. I'll jump in the car.
Okay.
I'm downtown anyway. I'm at the office.
Well, we'll put him on an MH waiver, but,
Hold on, Judge. He wants to say something. Go ahead.
okay.
I just
Okay,
want to
okay.
wait. I'm not feeling.
Yeah, too. As long as he's back, Your Honor, I will mention that he works for a food truck, Joey L. Jones. They sell ribs and chicken and all kinds of good stuff. He is a person who has an AA in business, an associate's degree in business. He has managed restaurants. And when he's got it together, he's really contributing to society and with good food.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and set your bond, Mr. Cosby, and I'm going to set it at a $3,000 good bond with $2,000 on the criminal trespass and $1,000 on the public drunkenness. And I want you to be very careful to not go back to MARTA. You cannot use MARTA. You'll have to do ride shares or get rides or cabs or things of that nature. But you already had a suspension from MARTA until April 16th. But right now you'll be on bond. And if and when you make bond, you still cannot go to MARTA. So you'll have to find some other means of transportation. And so,
Hold on, I gotta take him, Your Honor. He almost left.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Next,
You
we
know,
have
in the confusion of things, Your Honor, I never did actually state my request for a signature bond, but I think Your Honor probably knew that's where I was going.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have position 3, Mr. Edwards.
Okay. This is case number 22 CR 001580J. Juan Pierre Edwards, you're charged with 1 count of battery and a 2nd count of obstruction of a law enforcement officer, both with the offense dates of March 18, 2022. You have anything pre-trial?
I got 6 total. Last arrest was August 2021, battery, family violence, criminal trespass. He got a few open cases. He got a terrorist threats and battery, 20 CP 193758. The battery, family violence, trespass is 21 CR 004-522J. Got a simple battery, simple assault, trespass, 20 CR 005-525J. We got 3 open cases.
All right, Mr. Walker.
Yes, Your Honor, the state is asking for a $6,000 surety bond on the battery and a $2,000 surety bond on the obstruction, along with a stay away from the incident location. I have an address of 501 Old National Highway and no further contact with the victim, whose name is Joshua Edwards. In case the state is, in case Your Honor is wondering, that is his younger brother. In this case, him and his brother did have a verbal altercation where the defendant became violent. He threw a rock at his brother and began to punch him several times. This was witnessed by both of their mothers. It seems as though, perhaps it's between 2 brothers, but upon further investigation, this is the defendant's 3rd case with the same exact victim. I have a 19 CR 001327B. I have a 19 CR 001326B. In both of those cases, the defendant did complete diversion via anger management and restitution. Both of those cases were dismissed via diversion. Clearly, the anger management did not work, because here we are on a 3rd case with the same exact victim. So the state is very concerned about the safety of the victim, about any possible influence, and that's why we are asking for a no further contact and a stay away in those said bond amounts. And of course, that's in addition to his other 2 open cases. As pretrial stated, he has a felony terroristic threat and an aggravated battery. So to put it simply, this person has demonstrated he is a violent and dangerous individual. And we don't want to return with a different type of case next time. We're at his 3rd case with the same victim. So, and I want to say on those 2 previous cases, he was given signature bonds. So I'm just asking the court to do something different in this case.
All right, Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, in the spirit of making lemonade out of lemons, since it is the same victim, if he will stay away, and I'm sure he will obey the court's direct order, if he and his brother stay away from each other, it does not appear the state is claiming that he's a danger to the public in general. These 2 brothers aren't getting along. So if we could go in that route.
He has an open aggravated battery with a different victim, so.
Okay, but we would put that forward to Your Honor in asking for a signature bond or as low a bond as could be possibly reasonable.
How old is Mr. Edwards, the defendant?
How old is he? He's 22.
Okay. And do we know, Mr. Walker, how old our victim is?
I believe the victim's 2 years younger.
2 years younger, so maybe 18, 19. And so let me also ask this, at the incident location, the 501 Old National Highway, who resides there?
That's where the family resides. So his younger brother and his mother.
Right, it's 5401 apartment 703.
And I'm hoping, Mr. McLean, that Mr. Edwards here would have somewhere else to live.
I believe he would be able to stay with friends or relatives. I'm not sure I've written down the exact address where he would be staying.
No, he's raising his hand.
I don't stay there. The only reason why I went to Old National because I was working and my check stubs had went to the house. That's the only reason why I was at the Old National location. I then moved away. I have my own house. As I told Mr. McLean, I have my own apartment. I start this job Monday. If I don't get out, I'm gonna lose my house and my job. I don't have nobody to defend me or to take that stuff over for me. It took me a lot to even get to the point now to where I'm able to have my own apartment and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I have been trying. He right about me and my brother. We don't get along, so that's why I don't live with them. I have cut all ties with them. I don't live. I don't talk to them. I don't go around them. If I do, it's because my mom, she knows she has some stuff going on. She just got to her head on police. She can't really provide for herself. So I take food over there. I put a little money in her pocket. You know what I'm saying? What they won't do for her, I'll be the one that go over there. Even though I'm still not supposed to be over at that location, I still go over there, you know, check on my mom.
Your Honor, I would like to thank my client for reminding me I misspoke when I said that I didn't write down the exact address. I reached for the left-hand side of paper, which I should have stapled to the right-hand side of paper. He does live at 95 Harvard Avenue, College Park, apartment 19, 30349. He does, he's employable. He's worked for Avis. He's worked for Flex, moving cars in the car rental situation. And he's looking forward to his next job in that area. The contract of 5 or 6 months ended, and that's why he's not working right now. Then he went and got himself another job, and that starts Monday at the warehouse in Fairburn of Duracell Corporation.
Okay.
I'll just briefly, Your Honor, the state's position is we were more than generous on his last 2 cases with his brother. We gave signature bonds, we did diversion, and here we are a 3rd time. I'm just asking for the court to do something different. He's had not one, but 2 opportunities, and enough is enough. So someone's really going to be hurt.
Right. I am concerned, Mr. Edwards, and I know you have to look out for your mother. Mm-hmm. And I understand that is important to you. However, going to check on your mother at the same time can cause you to end up back in Fulton County Jail. And so
I understand. That's why I just told myself I'll stay away. Or if she really needs something to the point that she needed, I just have one of my sisters come to my house and take her over there. I don't have time for this, Your Honor. I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to keep on end up in y'all system. But what he was saying, the last 2 signature bonds, That's false information because the last 2 times I was locked up, I paid money to get out. I paid money. I got a signature bond once with Fulton County.
Okay. All right, well, what I'm going to do today is to make sure that our victim is going to be safe and that there's not going to be any more incidents. I'm going to have to give you a surety bond. And I'm going to, on the first charge battery, I'm going to give a $3,000 surety bond. And on the obstruction, a $1,000 surety bond for a total of $4,000. I'm going to order that you stay away. And is it 501 Old National Highway? That's where his mom lives?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
It's, I believe it's 5401.
Was it 5401?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
I'm sorry, 5401. So I want you to stay away from there. Like you said, get other people to go over there, sisters, friends, whomever. Your mom can call you, tell you what she needs, and you can get someone else while you're on bond to take those items to your mom. I want you to have no further contact with your brother, Joshua Edwards. Don't talk, hold on, don't interrupt me, please. And do not talk to him. Don't go around him. You know, you probably have an inkling sometimes as to where he's going to be. Make sure you don't go because it's not working out for you. You're the one that keeps coming back to jail. So we're going to stop this, okay? So I want you to no further contact with Joshua Edwards while you're on bond, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while you're on bond, except for prescriptions that may be given to you by a doctor. So that's a $4,000 surety bond, and stay away from your mom's house, that incident location, and no further contact with your brother, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I
Okay.
have a question.
Huh?
Well, you know, I have my own nigga, but I'm just saying, not shy. This not shy, man. I don't have no money. I just funded. I just paid my rent. I supposed to start a job on Monday. If I'm not able to do this, I'm fit to lose my apartment. On top of that, if I was able to get out after losing this apartment and not want to work on Monday, I'm gonna be out of a job, man. I'm basically finna be homeless. I don't want to live for my siblings, you know what I'm saying? Something else could go on with them. Something similar to this could go on with them. I'd much rather stay by myself, man. And like I said, it took me everything to get this apartment, and I feel like I'm finna lose it by being in here because I don't have no money to be down. I don't have no money to burn down. I'm not even sit right here and lie to you, man. I don't.
Well, a $4,000 surety bond is not a very high bond at
I
all.
understand it's $400, man.
And so you don't have anyone between your sisters and your mom that can help you with that bond?
Man, they got children. My sister, all my siblings, they have children. I'm the only one that don't have a child because, you know, I'm gay. I don't have children, but I'm also out here getting everything for myself. Man, it is hard out here. I already have a feeling. This job, I just got this job. It took me 30 days to find this job, and I'm finna lose it because I'm in here.
What job are you supposed to start on Monday?
Duracell, it's a warehouse job. Duracell, man. When I tell you, I searched 30 days straight for a job, and I got this job right here through a staffing company. They want me to work 7 days a week. This following week, I was supposed to work 7 days a week, 10 hours a day. Man, that was gonna help me out a lot. But doing this, and in this situation I am right now, I can't. I'm gonna lose everything I own.
Right. Do you all have anything else to add, Mr. Walker or Mr. McLean?
Just that he had told me about that Duracell in Fairburn, the warehouse job coming up.
My only response is, while I have empathy for the defendant, our actions have consequences. Again, we offered diversion on the first 2 cases. He did anger management. Here we are again, outside of just the 3 cases with his brother. He has an open felony aggravated battery case, and then he has another open case in state court also. My hands are tied. I mean, we're out of free passes or get out of jail free cards, if you will. So
yeah,
it's 6 cases, I think, since 2019.
Right. I
It's
do
only
understand
22.
you obviously have some issues and concerns that you need to address, Mr. Edwards. I'm going to leave it at the $4,000 surety bond. That's the lowest I can go, being fair according to your history and your current open cases. And I certainly, as Mr. Walker says, we can sympathize with you, but we need you to follow the law and not break the law and not get in trouble. And so that is a pretty low bond. And I hope that you can come up with that.
I just told you again, but okay, man,
Okay.
I understand.
All right. Good luck to you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next, we have position 9, Mr. Long.
All right. This is case number 22 CR 001581E, Deshaun James Long. You're charged with 1 count of battery family violence with the offense date of March 18, 2022. Pretrial.
6 total. Last arrest was February. Failure to appeal to Rockdale County. He's on probation for some driving stuff. Suspended license, suspended registration.
Okay.
I don't think he don't have any violence.
Okay.
He got a 2020 probation violation for suspended license. 2021 misdemeanor theft by receiving a suspended license. That's it.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Duncan.
Yes, Your Honor, this incident took place at 300 Deering Road, which is the location that he shares with the victim in this case, Mr. Isaiah Pettis. That's Izayyis. Pettis, Pettus, and this is a dual case. So both parties were arrested in this altercation that took place on March 18th, 2020. There was an altercation and dispute between the two parties. And when police arrived at the location, they made contact with Mr. Long, and he stated that he was lying on the couch when his boyfriend, Mr. Pettis, came into the house and slapped his phone out of his hand. And then he said that Mr. Long took a glass and poured water, and then another altercation ensued where and one of the parties left the apartment and then returned. Mr. Long was defending himself. He scratched the victim in this case, and the victim in this case was hit with a pole on his leg, and there was bleeding and swelling. Both parties had visible injuries. There was also a long laceration on Mr. Pettis's chest that was bleeding, and on his left forearm. Due to the violent nature of this case and the defendant's history, I also saw an FTA out of Rockdale County. We're requesting a $2,500 surety bond, no further violent contact with the victim, 1-day anger awareness, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Okay. All right, Mr. Finley.
Yes, Judge Mency, and good afternoon. Mr. Long is 23 years old. He is a man that works very hard. He has 2 jobs as of now. He works at a nursing home, Powder Springs Health Center, and then just got another job that he's been searching for a second at a children's hospital. He is a high school graduate. As we heard, Judge, Mr. Long does not have any violent arrests. And while I do recognize his FTA, I do, did say to him that it's important to respect the legal process and show up to court. Like I said, no violent arrests. Your Honor, we are asking for a signature bond in this case, but if not inclined, then a surety bond not exceeding $500. Mr. Long, I'd strongly advise you not to say anything at this moment. Your voice will be heard, just right now is not that time. Thank you, sir.
All right, I'm going to order a $3,000 surety bond. Stay away from 300 Deering Road. No further contact with the victim, Mr. Vaughn. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And if he needs a one-time police escort to return to retrieve his items, he may do that. And I think that would be all that I would order in this case at this time. Anything
Your
else?
Honor, I represent the alleged victim. His name is Mr. Pettis.
Oh, did I get that name wrong?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. Mr. Pettis.
Yes, Your Honor.
Nah, bro, this is not fair. Like, y'all not even trying to hear the side of the story.
All right.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's my understanding that they both live there. So we want to allow them to return just with no further violent contact, because it's my position, we do a stay away for one person, you have to do it for the other, and then nobody will be able to return to the apartment. So
Yes, Your Honor. And my client is telling me that he's not in the least bit afraid of him. It was a misunderstanding. They are
We was
in a
not fighting.
relationship.
He didn't hit me. I didn't hit him. We was just arguing. I have wounds from when I was in a car accident. This man did not hit me. I did not hit him.
The police were called by a neighbor, Your Honor, not by either of the parties.
And one of us who did not call the police. I'm not scared of him. He's not scared of me. We've been dating for 12 months, almost a year. We do not fight. We was just in an argument because he lost my.
Mr. Finley, you want to direct your client to?
Yes, Mr. Long. Mr. Long, as I said, I would strongly advise you not to say anything, sir.
So again, we're okay with no further violent contact and going without the stay away, but our position on the other matters remain, Your Honor. I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I will stick to the $3,000 surety bond that I've ordered. I will remove the stay away, and I will change that, Ms. Middlebrooks, to no further violent contact. But it will be a $3,000 surety bond.
I can't get a signature bond.
No, sir. All right, that is the ruling of the court.
Next, we have position 10, Mr. Peters. Here, give him, here, you come in this. This is position 10, Mr. Peters.
Okay, Mr. Pettis. This is 22 CR 001584E. Mr. Isaiah Pettis, you're charged with 1 count of battery family violence, offense date of February the 18th, 2022. This is the dual arrest from position number 9. So I believe I've heard the facts. Is there anything else? Let me start with pretrial first. I'm sorry. Go ahead, pretrial.
Third arrest, 2019. The resident says Kentucky, by the way. 2019, Kentucky, tampering with physical evidence, theft by receiving, possession of marijuana, misdemeanor. 2019, shoplifting, giving false information. That's it.
Okay. Ms. Duncan?
Yes, Your Honor, I just want to clarify that the facts indicated that Mr. Pettis was the one attacked with the pole, and he also notified officers that the defendant, Mr. Long, had been pushing him in the face. And so the state in this case is requesting a surety bond in the amount of $2,500, no further violent contact with the victim, 1-day anger awareness, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
All right. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 20 years old. He is gainfully employed as a CNA in a nursing home. He tells me he has plans for further study. He wants to do marketing so he can market a nursing home of his own. Those are his plans for the future, Your Honor. He tells me that this is definitely a mistake. It was they got into an argument, the argument got a little bit loud, the neighbors heard and called the police. He is really remorseful that this incident happened, Your Honor. He loves Mr. Long. He wants to be in contact with him. And, based on his history, Your Honor, he has no violent history at all. I think he's a good candidate for a signature bond and that the court should consider giving him one, Your Honor.
All right. right, I'm going to order a $2,500 surety bond. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. I'm going to order no further violent contact with the victim, Mr. Long. And I think that's it, because there will not be a need for the stay away. But $2,500 surety bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That should conclude this matter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mhm.
Your Honor, that concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
I can speak
Yes,
now.
you may. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Hold on.
I have a car note that's supposed to be due today. I have rent that's supposed to be due Monday. I have a job I'm starting Monday, my new CNA job on Monday. So all of this is like, I get paid all the way until the 25th. I can't get into my car, can't get into my house. All my shit will be on the curbs. All my belongings will be on the curb. I have dogs at the house. I have been there without food or water. I asked if, can you be quiet? Yeah, no, I'm no further. Nothing else.
I think he's asking the court to reconsider the surety bond, Your Honor, because he has his dogs and he's gonna lose his job otherwise. Mr. Pettis, I can talk for you.
Respectfully, Your Honor, the court has made its ruling, and while we empathize with the defendant due to the violent nature of this offense, we request that the bond remain.
Okay, so is there any proof that we were fighting?
Nobody was there.
I think that I'm watching.
It was my word of
Hold
mouth.
on a second. I need you both to be quiet, because what I'm witnessing right now is that you all still have issues with each other, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing right now.
No, right now,
Hold on. I don't want you to cut me off. You're gonna make it worse for yourself. Everyone in that room, I'm sure, has things they need to attend to, rather than being in jail. I get that. But when you put yourselves in positions where others may call, because obviously they felt alarmed and thought someone needed assistance, whether it was you or whether it was Mr. Long, this argument obviously got out of hand where others could hear and were concerned. And I understand when neither of you called the police because you don't think there's a problem, someone else felt that there was some type of issue going on. And I know that this is your third arrest, and I believe Ms. McLeod didn't have any violence. Is that correct in this history?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And so, but what I'm concerned about is if you were to get out with a signature bond and then Mr. Long has a surety bond, depending on what happens, it looks like you all still have some issues that you need to work out to be able to live peacefully so that there's not another victim in another case. I don't know that I'm convinced of that right now. You know, there needs to be some cooling down. And again, this just happened, you know, a day ago. So I don't know that I can put you all back in that situation so that there is no harm to either of you as victims and that you're ready to move on from this situation. Let me give you half of a second to say something very short, but you need to be very careful and let your attorney do her job. What is it? The last thing you can say, Mr. Pettis? Put your hand down, please. What is the last thing that you would like to say, real quick?
That is my boyfriend. I have been with him for a year. This is like actually our first accident that this happened. I love this dude. This is the only way it could work if I get a signature bond. We don't have, where are we gonna go? we're supposed to be moving apartments. We already talked to the guy from the office because he already had a complaint before. So he told us he was gonna move us apartments anyways, to a different unit, but all this.
Okay,
Your Honor, if I may, they were both bleeding as a result of this incident. So the state is concerned that it was more than just a mere disagreement, and we're concerned for the safety of both of them. And as we can see, there's still some issues going on. So again, we will reiterate our position that the court's recommendation as stated be respected.
yes, I'm going to go ahead and continue with my ruling, which is the $2,500 surety bond. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. All right. Good luck to you all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next, we have position 5, Mr. Fennec.
This is case number 22 CR 001578J. Michael Finnick. Is it Finnick?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about if I mispronounced it. You're charged at 1 count of simple battery, offense date 10/5/2021. Do you have anything pre-trial?
10th arrest. On probation in, what is this? In Fulton, I'm sorry, for possession of cocaine with intent. 2016, they gave him 20 years probation for that. On probation in Bartow, I'm sorry, Barrow County for forgery. Last arrest was back in January, probation violation. October 2021, felony terroristic threats. That was out of East Point. June 2021, DUI, suspended license, cancel registration. Another probation violation, 2018. 2016, fugitive from justice out of South Carolina. 2015, possession of cocaine. I don't think I have the South Carolina history.
I have it if you'd like me to pick up.
Okay. Yeah.
Only other thing I was going to mention is I have in 2013, he got an 8-year sentence out of South Carolina for robbery. As the court has heard, this defendant had several past convictions and violations of probation, along with the fugitive of justice. Based on those facts, the state is asking for a $4,000 surety bond and no further contact with the victim, whose name is Crystal Glenn. In this case, Your Honor, a law enforcement officer was standing outside of the precinct located on Old National Highway as he witnessed a car attempting to turn into the parking lot of the police precinct. In that car, the officer did observe the passenger striking the driver, the victim in this case, several times. Upon making contact with the victim did advise that the defendant had offered her violence and had struck her several times, as the officer witnessed. She stated that the defendant would not get out of the car and he was acting violent towards her. As the court has heard, he has several violent convictions and violations of probation, fugitive of justice. So a $4,000 good bond is more than reasonable, along with no further contact with Crystal Glenn.
All right, Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, he does ask the court to consider a signature bond in that he has a very stable place to stay, Stone Trace Drive, with his sister, Akia Wilson. He is 46 years old. He believes all the drug things are behind him. They're not as bad as some I've heard. I did hear what was stated from the various electronic rap sheets. He works at PAE Warehouse. It is a U.S. Postal Service contract that PAE Warehouse is working under. He does recycling. It has to do with assembly of the bins and the recycling of certain materials. Sounds pretty interesting. I'm not exactly clear exactly what they do, but it is full-time work. He's been there a good while. He does that through temporary staffing, and I have left a message with the temporary staffing agency to confirm that. I was able to reach his sister on the phone and confirm the stable address. And so we would ask the court to consider a better bond in the neighborhood of a signature bond or as low as possible.
All right, I'm going to order a surety bond in the amount of $4,000. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. No further contact with the victim, Crystal Glenn. I don't know if we need to stay away from her location or not, because
I
I know
don't have her
this happened in the parking
current
lot.
location.
Yeah, yeah, and I know this happened in the precinct parking lot. But you're to have no further contact with Crystal Glenn, Mr. Finnick, so do not go anywhere where she is or anywhere around her, and certainly, obviously, do not go to her residence, because you cannot be around her while you're on bond, or else you will be returned to the Fulton County Jail. And I think that is all that I'm going to order right now with this case. Again, $4,000 surety bond. All right, anything else? All right. Who do we have next?
He has a question, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Tread light, because you do have an attorney.
I'll be glad to speak in a breakout room with him if he has a question.
What is it regarding? Is it regarding any of your bond conditions?
Well, yeah, I mean, the situation that happened.
Why don't we go into a breakout room, Mr.
McLean, you can call in the courtroom.
Okay.
Because this is a bond hearing. This is not your trial. I'm not determining at the moment.
Let's see, that's not 7122, that's the extension, is it 2 dash?
2392
Got
612.
it. 2392, and it's a 612 number.
Correct.
As soon as I'm through with my next case, I'll call in. Thank you.
Next, we have position 6, Mr. Freeman.
Okay.
I'm not sure who's McLean's case is.
It is. I got Freeman.
So I'll move on. I'll do Mr. Finley's case. Mr. Woodard, position 12. Go ahead, you can pick it up.
How y'all doing? Everybody's doing. Good morning.
All right, this is position 12, 22 CR 001586D. Abdullah Jose Woodard. You're charged with 1 count of simple battery with the offense date of March 18th, 2022. What do we have pretrial?
9th arrest. Last was December 2021. Probation violation. Got ag battery obstruction conviction in the history. On probation for ag assault 21 SC 177. I'm sorry, 178881. What else? That's it.
Okay. All right, Ms. Duncan.
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't hear if pretrial stated it, but this defendant does have an open case 20 COV 0252, where he's charged with simple battery and cruelty. And he FTA from the status conference that was set on March the 2nd, 2022. In this case, it took place at the MARTA 5 Point station. Officers were dispatched to the Peachtree side of the 5 Points MARTA station in reference to a pedestrian who was hit in the back of the head by another pedestrian. And in this case, that pedestrian was the victim in this case, Mr. Pope. And he was hit in the facts indicate that he was hit in the back of the head by the defendant, and the defendant fled the area. officers reviewed the video and they saw that Mr. Pope was sitting on the train, and I later identified the defendant as the person who attacked the victim in this case. Due to this defendant's violent history, we are concerned about the risk of reoffense, and we also see that there was a probation revocation on January 2022. So because of that, this case has a bond that is set at $2,500 surety. We're asking that it remained as set, that there be no further contact, and to stay away from the 5 Points MARTA station, and there be or a one-day anger awareness, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
All right, Mr. Finley.
Yes, Judge. Mr. Woodard is 41 years old. He does have one small child, a son that's 2 years old. He does work. He tries to get some work as an actor and has been successful at that in the past. He does have strong community ties, Judge. He's born and raised here, and all of his family are here as well. As we know, bond is not meant to be punitive, but rather to ensure his return to court. That is why, Judge, we are asking for a signature bond, but if not inclined, then a surety bond not exceeding $1,000.
And my apologies, Your Honor, for clarification on the record. The victim in this case names is Jeff Pope, and both of those are common spelling.
And so did he know the victim, or this was a stranger?
No, according to the facts as indicated by the police report, it was someone that he did not know.
All right, I would be inclined to continue with the $2,500 surety bond. And I'm going to order that there be no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. I'm going to order a stay away, or no further contact rather, for the victim, Jeff Pope. You're not to go at all around Mr. Pope, and a stay away from the 5 Points MARTA station. You probably already have a ban there anyway, but please don't go back. They have the technology that will recognize you when you come back, and you will be immediately arrested if you go to the 5 Points MARTA station. So you probably have to find some other method of transportation. So that should, I think, does that conclude everything with the attorneys?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Finley.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Next, we have position 13, Mr. Woods.
This is 22 CR 001587A, State versus Robert Lee Woods. You're charged with 1 count of simple battery family violence. The offense date is 12/17/2020. Pre-trial.
17 total. Last arrest was 2014 misdemeanor possession of marijuana, NOD. 2012 marijuana possession. 2005. Got an 04 probation violation. Underlying charges: giving false name, robbery, trespass. That come from the 90s. That's it. Everything else is like
Okay. All right, Mr. Duncan.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place at 2049 Perkerson Road, Southwest in Atlanta, 30310. Perkerson is spelled Perkerson. The victim in this case is Tonya Palmer. Tonya is spelled Tonyea. Palmer, common spelling. Ms. Palmer is the present spouse of the defendant. This incident occurred on December 17th, 2020. Officers were dispatched, responded to a call for a domestic dispute. They were met by Ms. Palmer, who stated to the officers that she was in a dispute with her husband. They had a carryover argument from the night before, and while the defendant was leaving for work, decided to take the power cord for the television. And at that moment, the victim in this case, Ms. Palmer, told the defendant, if you're going to take the power cord, why not just take the TV? Argument ensued, and once the defendant left, he attempted to come back and was knocking on the door and stated to the victim in this case that we're both going to jail today. And after taking the TV out, shoved the TV at the victim in this case in her lower back area, returned to the home, went inside the room and grabbed the victim's purse out of the closet. A physical altercation ensued, and the victim was pushed down to the floor. Our victim advocate did get a chance to speak with the victim in this case. She stated that she was not injured during this incident, and she did not need, well, she was injured, but did not need medical attention. My apologies. She said she was not injured. And they had that she did not have any other altercations with him, but due to the nature of this offense, we're requesting that there be a in the history that goes back to 1988 of criminal offenses, we're requesting that there be a $2,500 surety bond. No further contact with the victim in this case. If there are children, we ask for third-party contact because we're unsure at this time, and a stay away from wherever the victim resides. We're not sure if this is still the location, since this did occur in 2020. One day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
All right, Mr. Finley.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Woods is 56 years old, and he is unemployed at the moment, Your Honor. He does not want any contact with Ms. Palmer. He stated that they no longer have a relationship, so no further contact. We would not oppose that. He is born and raised in Atlanta, Your Honor. As we heard, he has not had an encounter with the criminal justice system since 2014, and that 2014 arrest was a possession of marijuana arrest. And while I do understand the Ms. ASG referring to his criminal history, that is a criminal history that we have to go many, 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 many years. And the next one we hit is 98, which were misdemeanors. So Mr. Woods has proven that he does respect the criminal justice system. He did obviously catch this charge, but he's a man that's been walking a straight path for a while now. And that is why, Judge, we are asking for a signature bond because Mr. Woods does not have any money, and any surety bond would effectively be a no bond, as there's no chance he'd be able to make that. Thank you, Judge.
All right.
And Mr. Woods, I'd strongly advise you not to speak, sir.
And the victim is a girlfriend of the defendant?
The facts indicate that she was his spouse.
Spouse of the defendant. They're married?
The facts did indicate spouse. Mr. Woods stated that was a girlfriend.
And do we know with this location, is it a lease, rental, or whose name is on it?
I'm not sure.
49 Perkison.
I'm not sure, but the facts indicated that at the time of the incident, they were both living there.
That may be the only question, Mr. Finley, that I have.
Yes, I do not know that information, Judge Mency. If we could, Mr. Woods, just please only answer in regard to that address if you could.
Yes, that is my address.
Is it a lease with both names on it?
No, this mine.
Well, the state will request a one-time escort to see if the victim is residing at that address, and if she isn't, then we would be okay with him returning.
Okay. All right, I'm going to give you a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial per judge. I'm going to order that you take the 1-day anger management, anger awareness course through pretrial. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, except for any prescriptions that you may have. I'm going to order you to have no further contact with the victim, Tanya Palmer. But I'm not going to order a stay away yet from the incident location, except to say in this bond order that if you return to the location and she still resides there, then you cannot reside there. And if she's already moved, then you're fine, but you need to be careful of that. Because since you're going to be ordered to not go around her, want to make sure that one of you is going to have to leave the location, and right now it will be you.
That's my part. That is my place, and I have to leave my place.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but we have to make sure that the victim is going to be safe and that there are not going to be any more incidences between the two of you. Okay, well, the only way you can stay there is if she doesn't reside there. If she does, then you must find someplace else to go in the meantime while you're out on bond.
And my name on the lease, that is my place.
I understand. But as the victim, I'm not going to put her out on the street just yet. Okay. All right.
Your Honor, just to clarify, will that verification process take place by one-time escort?
It can. You can go back with the one-time escort if they determine and see that the victim does not reside there, that she doesn't have any belongings there, substantial magnitude of things there, then you can stay. But if it appears that she's still staying there, usually they go by, toothbrush, look in the closet, see if there's clothing, things around that you know are hers and not yours. Then you can stay there. All right. Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, we have position 7, Mr. Hall.
Judge Mincy, could you just say one more time, what was the dollar amount for that signature bond?
It was $4,000.
Okay, thank you.
This is case number 22 CR 001583J, State versus Kevin Hall. There are 4 charges here. 1 count of simple battery, family violence. 2nd count of willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. 3rd count of criminal trespass. And then another count, a 4th count, which is willful obstruction of law enforcement officer, all with the offense date of March 18th, 2022. Do you have anything pre-trial?
8 total. On probation, Clayton County. Sale of marijuana, possession of a controlled substance. 2019, they gave him 10 years probation for that. Let me get to the history. Last arrest was on the 14th of this month in South Carolina. I got trafficking meth, cocaine. Before that was October 2020 battery. That victim was Angel Taylor. According to the warrant, 2020 sale of marijuana, 2 counts, and obstruction. That's open. Felony conviction for marijuana. 2018 probation violation, marijuana. 2012 entering auto, possession of tools for the commission of a crime, criminal attempt to commit a felony, criminal trespass damage, and criminal trespass arrest. He's on probation and got the open cases. That's it.
Your Honor, if I could just provide some clarity in regards to the history.
Yeah.
The previous open case with the same victim, Angel Taylor, I do have a case number 20DA 07912 appears to be an aggravated assault, again with the same victim. That's the other case with the same victim. Additionally, I do have that the defendant also pled guilty to aggravated assault by deadly weapon in 2020, that he's currently on felony probation as well. In this case, on the one count simple battery family violence, the state is asking for an $8,000 surety bond. To the one count, or to the initial count of obstruction, we're asking for a $1,000 surety bond. To the next count of criminal trespass, a $1,000 surety bond. And to the second count of obstruction, another $1,000 surety bond. We are asking for a stay away and no further contact with the victim, Angel Taylor. And that stay away is for all MARTA train stations. This event did occur at the MARTA. This was witnessed by MARTA PD, where the defendant punched the victim several times in her face, causing her to fall to the ground. As the victim fell to the ground, he continued to batter her. As police approached the defendant, he took off running. He took them on a chase throughout the nearby neighborhood. He actually ran into a Hotel Indigo located on 3800 Main Street in College Park, Georgia. And he ran into the room of a stranger, room 511, to escape from law enforcement. I think that in itself speaks numbers, the links that the defendant went to evade law enforcement during this interaction. So based on the facts of this case, based on the fact that the defendant has an open aggravated assault with the same victim while he's on felony probation for an aggravated assault, I believe that the said bond amounts requested by the state are more than reasonable.
Okay.
Mr. Hall, please put your hand down. I'll be talking for you and you won't be talking today. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, get one to get one point out of the way first. The exact minute of time is alleged for the obstruction, the two obstruction counts, fleeing from Officer Little and fleeing from Officer, the other last name. So you can only flee once. If you're fleeing from a pair of officers, it's really one fleeing. So that should be one count of obstruction. He does have a request. He would like to ask the court to consider that he is a steward. That is to say, he works at the Georgia International Convention Center, and he does setup, breakdown, catering, the prep, the cook, miscellaneous tasks. And so he is steadily and stably employed. I got in touch with, I left a message with his mother. I have a grandfather's name. He's local. He went to Terrell High School, and he would like to ask the court to consider a signature bond.
I'm going to order a $4,000 surety bond, which will be $1,000 on each of the 4 charges. I'm gonna order no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. Stay away from all MARTA locations. If you have any transportation needs, Mr. Hall, right now, MARTA is not the place for you to be, else you'll come back down to Fulton County Jail. But once you make bond, do not go around the MARTA stations at all. And I think that's it. Anything else, attorneys, I need to take up?
Did you say no contact with the victim, Angel Taylor?
Oh, yes, thank you. No further contact with the victim, Angel Taylor. All right, so Mr. Hall, that's what you need to do. Do you have a general question about your bond conditions?
No, ma'am. Also, I stay in College Park, so it wasn't like I was just around the victim. I stay literally 5 minutes away from College Park train station. So,
well, you can't get on MARTA right now.
no problem.
You have to do ride shares or Uber, things of that nature to get around. while you're on bond, okay?
All right.
All right, good luck to you.
Next, we have position 6, Mr. Freeman.
This is case number 22 CR 001579B. State versus Andrew Freeman. I'm sorry. Okay. We are on number 6, is that correct?
That's my
Yes,
understanding. Your
position
Honor.
6, Mr. Freeman.
Right, okay. And Mr. Freeman, you're charged with obtaining unlawful entry into MARTA and a second count with simple battery, both with the offense date of March the 18th, 2022. Do you have anything pre-trial?
Counted 9 total. Last arrest was last month. Trespass, disorderly conduct, murder. December 2021, FTA for trespass and obstruction. October 2021, 2 counts of felony terrorist threats, 1 count of simple assault. July 2021, 3 counts of simple assault. May 2021, trespass, obstruction, misdemeanor. Got a 2015 forgery, 4th degree conviction. 2015 trespass, he pled nolo. He's already out on 2 different pretrial bonds. So he got 2 different open cases in state courts.
Okay.
That's correct, Your Honor. The defendant has several. I went through all of his cycles, and most of them are him attacking complete strangers or him being charged with criminal trespass from Georgia State University campus to MARTA locations. He has a history. I'm not sure if there's some MH concerns, but based on his history, we are asking for a $2,500 good bond on the unlawful entry. That's actually the bond that was assigned by the magistrate who signed the warrant. So we'll ask that that remains intact. And the same thing for the simple battery. He had a precinct bond of $2,500. Good bond. We are asking for a stay away from all MARTA locations at this point. He probably can't return anyway because he does have other previous criminal trespasses from MARTA, and no further contact with the victim, who is a MARTA employee by the name of Danielle Thompson. Danielle is spelled Donyal. On March 18th, Ms. Thompson did observe the defendant enter into the MARTA facility without rendering proper payment. When she confronted the defendant, he told her to do something about it and to call the police. At that time, he did grab her by her hands and push her away. So the victim did just that, call the police. Now we are here, and this is his first appearance. Like I said, based on his history of violent offenses, criminal trespasses, on the 21 CR 002426B, the criminal trespass case, he does have 2 FTAs on that case, and that is, as pre-trial stated, a bond that was issued through their office. So we are asking for a $2,500 good bond on each count as charged.
All right, Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, he did want to emphasize, although we usually don't get into facts in these bond hearings, he wanted everybody to know that he did not mean harm, that he didn't mean to offend the officer. He just thought at that moment, I'm standing here in the rain, they should, why don't they just go ahead and arrest me? At least I'll be out of the rain. The rain apparently was coming down pretty hard and he was seeking shelter. That was a mistake. He lives at Golden House and Baker Road, so he does have a stable address. He does have community ties. He's from New York, but has been here for a good while. And he is determined, we had a good discussion of it, he is determined to stay away from MARTA property. He would ask the court to consider a signature bond on those bases.
No, I'm going to order a surety bond, and that'll be in the amount of $3,000. On the first charge, it'll be $500, and on the second charge, simple battery, be $2,500. So that should total $3,000. $500 on the first charge, and $2,500 on the simple battery for a total of $3,000 surety bond. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And I think that's it. Anything else I need to take up at this point from the attorneys?
But stay away from MARTA in case you didn't say it.
Yeah, and stay away from all MARTA locations. You'll have to get some other modes of transportation, Mr. Freeman.
Yeah.
And was there a victim that I have in
It
this?
was the MARTA employee. Her name was
Yeah.
Danielle Thompson.
Right. And no further contact with the MARTA employee, Danielle Thompson.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yes, Judge, I have a quick announcement.
Yes.
For position 1, Mr. Adams, he bonded out. And also position 11, he waived his appearance. And we're completed here in courtroom 2.
Okay. So is 11 waiving his appearance? Am I supposed to still set bond today, or he's going to? Whose case is this, Mr.
Yes,
Finley?
yes, Judge Mency, that is my understanding that we're still go over bond. I did speak with him shortly before court, and he just wanted to waive his appearance.
Okay. All right, deputy. And we must not have anybody else. We'll go ahead and do that, but you can sign out. No one at South Annex.
Yes, they already went.
All right, thank you. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, you too. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. All right, this is case number 22 CR 001585A. Looks like it's Darielle Walton. He's charged with 1 count of terroristic threats. The offense date was August the 12th, 2021. Have you sent over a waiver, Mr. Finley?
No, but I will, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. And I think you're sending it to Italia Middlebrooks.
Okay, Middlebrooks, perfect.
Yes, Middlebrook. All right, go ahead, pretrial.
Yeah, 18 total. 2015 ag assault conviction, ag assault of deadly weapon, 4 counts conviction. Cruton the third with that arrest, possession of a firearm during the commission. He has a 2012 battery conviction that came off a 2011 arrest. 3 probation violations, 2 failure to appears. He went to felony first appearance earlier and got no bond.
All right. Ms. Duncan?
Yes, Your Honor, this incident took place at 4775 Santa Fe Trail. The victim in this case is Ms. Shadarian Harris. Shadarian is spelled Shederrian Harris. She is the girlfriend and mother of the same child as the defendant in this case. The incident regarding these threats resulted from an altercation that she had with the defendant regarding their breakup. He was angry at her because a video call that he had made to her, and she was telling him that she no longer wanted to be with him, and the argument ensued. And he drove away in the car initially and came back. Inside the home, he pushed her down, and while in the bathroom, she locked herself in the bathroom, and he yelled to her at that point that if she left him, he would kill her and himself. Due to the violent nature of the relationship between these two, they do have an open case because he hit her, and when he hit her, he also struck their son, who is a minor, and that open case is 22 CP 207 568, which pretrial stated he received no bond due to the violent nature and our concern for the victim in this case and the defendant's history that does include violent offenses. We requested a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with Shadarian Harris, third party child contact, but we'll leave that up to the judge's discretion. Stay away from the incident location, One day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, weapons.
Okay. All right, Mr. Finley.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Walton is 36 years old. He has 5 kids. He is a high school graduate and has held stable employment at St. George Freight. Ms. Harris, as we heard, is the mother of his children. He stated that this 1426 Riverwalk Lane is his residence. He does have strong community ties. His grandma lives here and the rest of his family as well. He's born and raised. Your Honor, we are asking for a surety bond not exceeding $1,000.
Okay. I'll go ahead and order a surety bond in the amount of $3,000. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. I'm going to order no further contact with Shadaria Harris, the victim in this case. And I'm going to order stay away from 4775 Santa Fe Trail. And I think is that everything on this case?
The child contact, they are the victims in the other case that's open in felony as well, though, Your Honor.
Okay, so no further, and say that again. I'm sorry, Ms. Duncan, what did you say?
I was saying that Ms. Harris and the child are the victims in the felony open case.
Oh,
as well.
same victims. Okay, same victims. Okay, well, there's no further contact with the victim as well, and then a stay away from the incident location. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anything else we need to take up?
Nothing further from the state.
Okay, is that all the cases? Let's see. Number 1 is bonded out. Does everybody have that? I saw that in the chat.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And, I think we're it. Ms. Middlebrook, you tell us when you're ready.
Ready, Your Honor. Position number 1, made bond, reset further notice. Position number 2 is a $3,000 good bond, reset SAP March 31st. Position number 3 is a $4,000 good bond, reset SAP March 31st. Position number 4 is a $3,000 sign-on bond through the jail, reset further notice. Position number 5 is a $4,000 good bond, reset SAP March 31st. Position number 6 is a $3,000 good bond, reset SAP March 31st. Position number 7 is a $4,000 good bond, reset SAP March 31st. Position number 8 is a $2,000 sign-on bond through the jail, reset further notice. Position number 9 is a $3,000 good bond, reset SAP March 31st. Position number 10 is a $2,500 good bond, reset SAP March 31st. Position 11 is a $3,000 good bond, reset SAP March 31st. Position 12, a $2,500 good bond, reset SAP March 31st. And position 13 is a $4,000 sign-on bond through pretrial per judge, reset further notice.
Okay. Anything else?
Nothing from the state.
I tried to do better today, Mr. Walker. I tell you.
We did.
Yesterday was a very long day. But you know, when you get a lot of victims too, that have to give them a little bit of time.
Yeah, it was an interesting day yesterday.
Yes, yes. Well, as they say, that's what happens. You all enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you, same to
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
Thank you,
Take
Jay.
care.
Have a good weekend.
All right, send over those orders. Anybody? I think Mr. Finley's the only one.
Okay, yes, Judge.
Okay. All right,
you.
thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Judge.
Bye.